Welcome to the video class. Good day to you all. As we are studying the ecology, one of the interesting, the branch of biological science that it deals with the study of interactions, interdependency, and interrelationship of different living beings and their environment. Maybe the plants, animals, or any other organism. Usually they react with their environment. Environment literally means the surroundings of an organism. It consists of number of the factors, the climatic factors, the edaphic factors, the topographic factors, and the biotic factors. These different the factors affect the metabolism, the growth and development, the behavior, and the reproduction, every aspect of the living beings, maybe the plants, animals, or any other organisms. Any external force or conditions that affect the living organisms in any way can be termed as a ecological factors or the environmental factors. These are many. Ecological factors are many and are intricately mixed together and interdependent. These always influence the living organisms of plants, animals, and all the biotic factors, all other the biotic factors, maybe the microscopic or macroscopic organisms. The climatic factors are different, the topographic factors are different, edaphic factors are different, then the biotic factors are different. Biotic factors means what? As I murmured earlier, the living beings, plants, animals, other microscopic organisms, whatever the living things which are present upon this planet Earth, their interactions, their interdependency, interrelationships forms a factor known as a biotic factors. So the climatic factors, especially in earlier class, we understood that climate is nothing but an average the weather conditions which is present in a particular locality, in a particular the site or the habitat of a plants, animals, or any other organisms, termed as a climate. This climate associated with different the factors known as the climatic factors. The solar radiation, nothing but the light, the temperature, the moisture content which is present in the atmospheric air, which always determines the humidity of the air. So the solar radiation, nothing but the sunlight, the temperature, the moisture content of the air, and the air pressure, the humidity of the air, the evaporation rate of water, and then the study of the climate known as a climatology. Climatology. It gives us an idea about the different aspect of the sunlight or the temperature or the moisture content of the air, the humidity of the air, and the air pressure, the evaporation of water. Evaporation of the water occur everywhere. Means what? Evaporation of the water, it determines the moisture content of the atmospheric air, and later on it in Again, it determines the humidity of the air, like that. Light, temperature, rainfall, humidity, frost, wind, snow, fire. These are all the different climatic factors. In one of the earlier class, we studied about the light. What is light? How it reach the surface of the earth, and how it reach the surface of the plants. Sun, of course, is the natural source of the energy. From the sun, every living being get a directly or indirectly required amount of the sunlight, required amount of the energy. It is from this sun the light travels and reach the surface of the earth. Light, the solar radiation that it comes from the sun, it includes different light rays: the ultraviolet light rays, the cosmic rays, X-rays, gamma rays, beta rays, and radio waves, and infrared rays, and the visible sunlight. Out of the different the light rays or radiations that it comes from the sun, the surface of the earth or the planet or the plants which are present upon the ground, actually they receive or they get the visible sunlight. All other the light rays are filtered by the ozone layer. This is somewhat an idea. Okay. Sunlight. Yesterday we studied about the sunlight, how it travels, how it reach the plants, and what is the effect of the intensive sunlight, how the light affect the metabolism, the growth and development, and the reproduction, and the germination of the seeds, the chlorophyll formation, the pigment formation, and the flowering. Okay, and the plant movement. Light is responsible for the plant movement. Light act as a external stimulus. It stimulate the different metabolic activities of a plant body or even the animal body. So this particular light affect, and always it influence the life of every plants, every living animals, every living microscopic organisms. Let's continue at another ecological factor, that is in this the video class I am actually intended to discuss much more about the temperature. The temperature play a very significant role. Temperature. It is this temperature which is also act as another important ecological factor. This temperature determine the metabolism, growth and development, the reproduction, the behavior of animals and plants, the seed germination. So it affect and it always influence the survival or the existence of a plants, animals. Okay. High temperature and a low temperature, it is always the temperature. It may be the maximum or a minimum, especially the optimum temperature is different. It is this optimum temperature which is responsible for a number of physiological the activities which occur within the plant body. The temperature, one of the ecological factor. This temperature very important ecological factor, because as we know that temperature, it is not always same in a given place. It is the temperature, it's increase or decrease, the temperature it's not always the same in any of the given place. It may vary from place to place. Different aspects determine the temperature. It's um, let's continue. It is better to how the temperature of the surrounding air increases or decreases. How does this temperature is responsible and that determines the different the metabolic activities of the plants, the growth and development, etc. We actually measure the temperature of any atmospheric air or the body of the, that is the scale, the unit of the measurement of the temperature, it is the centigrade, sometimes Fahrenheit or a centigrade. So this the temperature, actually it is the measure of the intensity of the heat known as a temperature. It is the measure of the intensity of the heat known as the temperature. It is a physico-chemical and ecological factor. It is defined as the intensity aspect of the heat. Intensity aspect of the heat is known as the temperature. It is a form of energy known as the thermal energy. Rise in the or the increase in the temperature or a decrease in the temperature, it is related to the sunlight directly or indirectly. Very intensive light rays, when they reach the surface of a ground, they become responsible for the rise in the temperature of the surrounding. This means that so heat is emitted by the visible light. Heat is emitted by a visible light, and infrared light rays which are present, which travels from the sun and reach the surface of the earth. So the temperature of a locality depends on the brightness of the sunlight and intensity of the light reaching there. This is very important. How does the increase in the temperature and decrease in the temperature occurs in the environment? It is this, the brightness of the sunlight that it reach the surface, which determines the increase in the temperature or the decrease in the temperature. Take for example, the number of factors affect the temperature. Let's discuss what are the different factors which affect the temperature. That is, factors affecting the temperature. What are the factors? Factors affecting temperature. Factors affecting temperature. Factors affecting temperature are many. The latitude, the altitude, then the cloudiness, then there are many factors. These factors make responsible for the either increase or decrease of the temperature of the environment. The latitude, the altitude, the diurnal variations, then the different seasons of the year, distance from the sea. Distance from the sea also determines the temperature. Then direction of the mountain ranges. Direction of the mountain ranges also determine the temperature. Then cloudiness, then effect of the vegetation, and lastly the aquatic medium also, the habitats also determines the or affect the temperature. Take for example latitudes. In a latitude, in an in an equator of Earth, usually where the sunlight is very bright, sunlight reach there, very intensive sunlight reach there. So therefore, temperature is maximum around the Earth in an equatorial plane, in an equator of the Earth itself. Then in an equator, we notice the highest temperature or the very high the temperature. Then altitude. Other than this, the altitudes. Higher the altitude, lower is the temperature. That means what? Up to 1,500 the meters from the sea level, there is always a fall in the temperature of about 1 degree centigrade. It is always noticed up to 1,700 meters. Okay, so this is about the altitude and latitude. Other than this, diurnal variations also determine the temperature. We observe or we notice that during a daytime temperature is usually high, but when it turns into a dark, temperature falls down or it comes down. So the difference in the temperature of daytime and the night can also be termed as a diurnal variations. Diurnal variations, like that. And other than this, what I told you earlier, different seasons of the year, take for example during a summer season, temperature present, usually we notice the high temperature, and temperature usually it is very low, or we notice the low temperature during the winter season, summer season and winter season, like that. And in a summer season high temperature, and winter season low temperature usually present. Other than this, the temperature, the place which is present so far away from the sea, usually it shows the high temperature. The place which is present nearer to the sea, where means what, the coastal areas, as they get the cold waves, cold wind, cold air, where we notice the low temperature, then that of the ground or the place or the habitat or the locality which is present away from the sea, away from the sea itself. So the place, the distant places from the sea, usually they shows the high temperature. That is the direction of the mountain ranges also, they shows the different type of the temperature. Okay, that means that um, the direction of the mountain ranges, at one side the mountain range that it is exposed to the sunlight and usually receives a direct rainfall, where it shows the presence of um, the thick vegetation, where we notice somewhat the low temperature there. Okay, then that of the other side of the mountain ranges, where which is exposed directly to the sunlight. Cloudiness in the atmosphere also determine the temperature. uh, Temperature is usually, it falls down during a cloudiness of the atmosphere. And lastly, if the place or the locality which is covered by the thick vegetation, we notice a low temperature there. Then there of the locality or the habitat which is bare, which is exposed. Okay, then these are the different factors affecting the temperature. Let's in what way this temperature affect the plants. Okay, effect of temperature on plants, effect of temperature on plants, effect of temperature on plants. Temperature always influence the metabolism of the plant, plant growth, and then plant health. The metabolism of the plant means what? Different metabolic activities which occur within the plant body, not always only the photosynthesis or respiration. Number of biological reactions occur within the plant cell or within the plant body. Different biological activities always determined by the temperature. Temperature is very important. So the photosynthesis occur within the plant body. Maximum rise in that is the high temperature usually brings it the speed of the rate of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis occur maximum under high temperature. Means what? Temperature also acts as a limiting factor. High temperature means what? The optimum temperature. Optimum temperature always speed up the photosynthesis. In the similar way, the optimum temperature also increase the rate of the respiration within the plant body. Then other than this, the metabolism of the plant, maybe the photosynthesis or the respiration, temperature also affect the growth of the plant, affect the growth of the plant. it affect the growth of the plant. The plants which grows very well under a very low temperatures, below the 0 degree centigrade, minus 0 degree centigrade, are commonly termed as Hikistotherms. Hikistotherms. These are the group of plants that they grow very well below 0 degree centigrade. Then there are microtherms, then mesotherms and megatherms. There are microtherms, megatherms, mesotherms and megatherms. Microtherms are another group of the plants that they grow and they require 10 to 25 degrees centigrade for their growth and development, are termed as microtherms. Within this 10 to 25 degrees centigrade, the range, usually they flourish. Such a group of the plants are termed as microtherms. Okay. Then the mesotherms. On the other hand, mesotherms usually they require neither too hot or too low temperature, too low the conditions. Means what? Neither too high temperature nor too low temperature. Medium temperature they require. Such a plants are termed as mesotherms. Take for example, subtropical deciduous forests are termed as the mesotherms. Megatherms are those plants usually they flourish under a high temperature. Example, the xerophytes. So the temperature, it effect on the metabolism, it effect on the growth and development of the plant. It also affect I discussed earlier, the temperature, one of the environmental factor, always influence the existence and survival of the plants. They influence the growth and development, the metabolism, metabolic activities, other physiological functions, then the seed germination, then the flowering, their reproduction, then the absorption of the water and mineral salts from the soil, and as well as the transpiration. So in this way, the temperature of a surrounding air or the environment, always it influence the overall the physiology of the plant itself. Take it another the effect. It affect the flowering of the plants. Cold treatment is given to the plants to flower. The process is otherwise termed as the vernalization. To induce the flowering, the plants are exposed to the low freezing temperature. The process is known as vernalization. It is responsible for the flowering. This means what? It affect the flowering process. Then the high temperature of atmospheric air makes the plant to transpire. That is, under a high temperature, they lose the water maximum. in the form of the water vapor, that is known as the transpiration. Transpiration nothing but it is the loss of the water in the form of the water vapor from the internal tissues of the plant body through the aerial part of the plant such as stomata, is known as the transpiration. Transpiration occur maximum under a high temperature, and it occurs minimum under the low temperature. So the maximum temperature and the low temperature always influence the temperature, the photosynthesis, the respiration, and other biological activities of the plant. Like that, when the transpiration it is maximum, when it occurs maximum within the plant body, so high rate of transpiration take up the water from below maximum. So the rate of absorption of water along with other mineral salts maximum during the high transpiration. Okay, like that, the temperature it makes different it affect different the activities of the plant body. Other than this, the seed also germinate. For the germination of the seed, temperature is also very necessarily required. The seed germination for the seed germination, 20 to 27 degrees centigrade, the temperature is always required. In this way, the temperature, the light, and the wind or the air, and the frost, and the rainfall, the humidity, the snowfall, the fire, like that, number of the climatic factors influence the vegetation or the plant itself. So I stop here, and I shall continue with another environmental factor, its influence or its the effect on the plants in another video class. Thank you.